What's up, everybody? It's your guy Q, the movie collector, here again, back with another 4K video review. I will say, guys, I'm sorry it's been a while. I feel like it's been eternity since I've actually last filmed, but I got really sick. I came down with a sinus infection, but I'm feeling a whole lot better now. And so here I am. And on today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Vinegar Syndrome release, this is actually my very first time reviewing a 4K release, or not even just 4K release, just a release from Vinegar Syndrome, period. Now, if you like all my reviews, all of my videos, I would gladly appreciate it if you smash that like button and also subscribe to the page. I would gladly appreciate it. We're over 60 right now, and it's been a major blessing, so I can't really thank you all enough for that. But anywho, I'm going to review this movie, and I'll give you a little backstory behind it. So if you're not following YouTube, not YouTube, if you're not following Vinegar Syndrome's YouTube page, I highly suggest you do so. They have their film archivist, Oscar, who does a lot of funny videos, but they're funny, but they're very informative. He gives backstories behind how Vinegar Syndrome goes through the entire restoration process with a lot of the 35 millimeter films they get in. And the one that they did on this film had me very fascinated. Apparently they got everything with this film. And the film I'm talking about is The Nesting. 1981's The Nesting, directed by Armand Weston. Now, I have a little bit of an issue. It's just a little personal, a little gripe. I don't know why they put the name The Nesting on here. I get that was the worldwide release name of this film. But however, when you pop the disc in, you're greeted with phobia. And phobia is everywhere. And so apparently if you watch that YouTube channel, which by the way, after you watch this video, go look at it. They talk about how phobia was the work print title. I think that's what they said, the work print title of this film. So anyway, this film is about a lady named Lauren. I think it's Laura or Lauren. She's dealing with a phobia, pretty much. She can't leave her apartment. She can't really go anywhere in public because she starts to have this massive panic attack. And so she goes to see her psychiatrist, which he gives really helpful tips on how she can actually get better from her phobias of going outside and just being around people. And she gets better. She starts to get a whole lot better. But she's also a writer that writes books. So her and her husband, they decide to go on this little trip. They end up somewhere in the backwoods. I'm going to say backwoods. It's not really hillbilly backwoods, but it's backwoods, countryside anyway. And they wound up at this house. And apparently this house is the same house that's on the cover of her book. And apparently she's seen these visions of this house all across her visions. Well, she ends up falling in love with the house. And so she wants to actually rent it out. So her and her husband go get it arranged to where she starts moving all her belongings into the house, and so that way she can get well acquainted with it. Well, come to find out, the house is haunted, and it has a pretty huge backstory to it. And once again, like I always say in all my videos, I'm not going to spoil it, but I will tell you, for a blind buy and a blind watch, this was great. I enjoyed this very, very, very much. The tension, the atmosphere, even the story was really good too. Now, the fascinating thing I come to find out is that the director and his wife, they both worked hand in hand on creating the story for this movie. And they come from a background of doing dirty movies. Go figure. Yeah, this was their first little try at it, and the story was mainly written by the wife. But yeah, I would highly suggest you guys check this out. Now, The movie, it stars what is her name? Oh gosh, what is her name? Robin Groves. Robin Groves plays as the leading lady in this movie. And once you go into the special features, which I'll talk about that here in a minute, once you go into the special features, you come to find out she didn't do a whole lot of movies. She was mainly into theater. And I'm shocked that she wasn't in a lot of stuff. She is a great actress. Very fantastic, great actress. Which here I'll go ahead and show you guys everything that comes with it. So in typical Vinegar Syndrome fashion, you get a nice slip cover there. And this is actually part one of the scenes here in the movie, which was really good and fun. And inside here, which I've already reversed the slip on it. So there's the main slip there. And then there's the back there. Feel free to pause it if you want, if you can see it. Okay, there's that. And then it's a 2-disc set, which they also give you a nice booklet with it as well. There's the 2 discs. And there's your booklet. Make sure there's no nudity. Make sure there's no nudity at all. And that title here, which it was re-released in '83 under that name. Nice. It's a nice little essay inside of here too that go through the workings of the movie and stuff. Nice little essays. Not essays, but essay. But yeah. So you get a pretty feature packed release here. And the special features, let's see here. So what it says here is you get a 4K disc that contains a 110-minute feature presentation of The Nesting in its original Phobia cut. That's exactly what I was just saying before, is that they should have just named this Phobia on the packaging. Presented in Dolby Vision HDR and newly restored from its 35mm original camera negative with the following sound options: original English language mono soundtrack and a commentary with writer and critic Andy Marshall Roberts. Also is included Blu-ray containing everything in the UHD plus the following special features, which you get acting as being brave, an interview with actress Robin Groves. That was a very insightful interview with the actress that plays Lauren. She tells the whole backstory about how she got into acting, studying film arts and theater when she was in college, and she happened to stumble upon getting this gig after doing a bunch of commercials. So she talks about her whole entire experience filming getting in her first film and being able to act in her first film. And she was talking about, after she seen it herself, she was like, why didn't I do more? And I'm wondering why she didn't do more. She was an amazing actress. And then you also get, what's it called here? The Outlaw Poet, an interview with actor Michael David Liley. He was the guy that basically portrayed, sorry for my southern slang, portrayed as the guy in the film that his grandfather owns the house that they rent, and he ends up helping Lauren out. The guy is like really, really old in this interview, but I commended him. I just couldn't watch the whole thing because it was dragging a little bit too long. But the things he was able to say, the things I was making out to what he was saying, was very insightful. So that was a good interview. You get an interview with Low Budget, an interview with Nightmare USA author Stephen Thrower, audio interview with co-writer Daria Price, conducted by Extras producer Ewan Kant, the Nesting outtakes. That's the other cool thing. So they got all the outtakes in here and all the dailies in here, which that's going to lead into the next segment of me talking about the transfer. This transfer was fantastic. You know, it looked really clean. It looked really nice. Vinegar Syndrome has never let, I know for me personally, they never let me down as far as the transfers are concerned. But they did some really terrific stuff with this. They went through, um, as far as what they were talking about on the back here about bringing the film to a 110-minute cut. They went through and added the dailies that were just stored away. They added all those in here. They paired it up pretty nicely with the sound. And watching it, you can't even tell they added stuff to it. It seemed like it was a natural flowing film. The colors look fantastic in the typical Vinegar Syndrome kind of way. Um, and I would say there was maybe one, maybe two moments where I did notice some color shifting from one scene to another, but it's barely noticeable. If you blink while watching it, you'll miss it. But other than that, fantastic transfer. It's Dolby Vision HDR as well as HDR10 as well, and you get a mono track which sounds fantastic. It sounded really good, nice. I wouldn't say atmospherics, but it was pretty nice. It was a nice mono track. It was a really nice, solid mono track. But anywho, I'm gonna say if you're a fan of Vinegar Syndrome titles, I would say this is definitely worthy of a pickup. I would even go as far as to say if you're into, haunted houses kind of horror, this is definitely worthy of a pickup. For a movie that was made in the early '80s, I mean, it's great. I highly recommend it. So definitely, I would say pick this up, whether now or you got Vinegar Syndrome. I don't think this is going to be included on the halfway to Black Friday sale, but I would say definitely pick this up. This is a really good pickup for anyone that's into these kind of movies. But anywho, that's the review for today. If you guys like the video, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.